Hello, it's me. I'm back. We're going to talk about bold moves. We're going to talk about success. We're going to talk about success, bold moves, and how it comes to money. Okay. How it comes to success, financial success. So, hi, guys. It's me. Hope you're ready and tuned in. I have just come back from London, the UK. I went last couple of weeks ago. Um, I flew 30 hours one way, and I went a few days early because I'm in Australia, because I knew I'd need the time zone to get onto the right time zone to be able to be in the 2 day mastermind. And then, of course, stayed a couple of extra days afterwards. I think it was 2 days or 24 hours or something. And what I want to share today is about these bold moves, right? Like, who does something like that? Who travels 30 hours? So let's call it 60 hours, right? So you're crossing a huge time zone all the way around the other world. And I must say, going from Australia to Europe is always a more, I don't like using some of these words, but the time zone is more challenging. It's okay going, it's on the way back, right? Versus going to North America, I think the time zone is, you struggle when you get there in the morning, but I'm good when I come home. So it's like one of these things, right? We have to juggle. But what types of people do those kind of bold moves? Who puts themselves out there, and knowing that you are really the 1% of anyone else that's going to be there, no one's troubled as far as you. And this is for anyone who's watching, but really for those women that have been through something in their lives that really have shifted them in feeling you're not good enough, feeling you don't take the bold moves because of fear. You feel fear is always the one holding you back. Fear of failure, fear of money, right? Oh, you don't know where you're going to get the money from, or you're just putting the money out there, you're wasting money. The overwhelm, the sitting on the ledge and never making a change, staying stuck in your life. I mean, let's be honest, it is only a decision, right? Fear is ego. Ego is this belief that doesn't exist. When we talk about millionaires, right? Because the channel was for creating a millionaire mindset, right? Becoming a millionaire, becoming a multimillionaire. Because once you get into the frequency, it is a limitless, right? The potential is there if you desire it. And I went to London to be around multimillionaires. My mentor is a $13 million entrepreneur. We had women in there that are making over 2 million, striving for 5 million. We had women that are in the 5-figure and 6-figure. Okay. But we're all, why we connected was because we're all in the same belief, in the same mindset of growth, and knowing that we are limitless. We can have it all. You can become a millionaire within 12 months or less if you decide to be. If you decide to leave your marriage, you can have the life of your desire. You can have the perfect partner. Not that anyone's perfect. It's all about growth and being in the same mindset. But I want you to know that the decisions that are happening for you are the decisions that you are making, consciously or not consciously. So get to choose, right? So let's talk about choosing. You want to choose your thoughts to become who you want to be. And for me, why I started this channel was really about empowering women, but it was also sharing my story to help others understand that you get to choose. You get to redesire, redirect, rewrite your story. I have done it so many times that I don't even realize when I'm doing it anymore. And I'm writing I've written my book and we're editing that, but I'm also putting I've got a page in a book coming out. And today I had to answer questions, and I actually tried to answer the questions before I went. And every time I went into it, I just wasn't in the headspace to do it. This morning I was in spirit. I was really aligned. And I think when you go and you do these huge, big, bold moves and all the change and what I wanted from it, I got tenfold. I went to London to tenfold my business, to tenfold me, right? I am my business. When you understand that, you are selling you. It's all about you. You are the business. Doesn't matter if you have a company, doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur and or a coach, anything online or whatever it is, it doesn't matter. It's you. You're selling you. So if you don't have the confidence and you're wavering in your life and you're second guessing what you're posting, second guessing your lives, second guessing where you're investing your money, second guessing that you want to have a coach have you help you, support you to move your business to the next level, and you're not making those decisions, you are choosing. You are choosing to stay stuck. You are choosing to be where you are. Whew. I tell you, ladies, if you just allow it to work and allow yourself to go with what you desire, everything will work out. It is the flow of the world. It is flowing with the universe, flowing with source God energy. I did it for 20, 30 years in my life before I met my husband, ex-husband. I was still in flow in the beginning, but let me tell you, those last 10 years, I was not in flow. I was controlling everything in my life, from what I could eat, where we sat at a restaurant. I was trying to control because I had no control. He controlled me. So the only thing I could control was me, right? But it wasn't doing me any good. Let me tell you. I sat at a bar with a girlfriend saying, am I going to stay in this marriage? I decided to stay. No one's fault but mine. All out of fear, all out of being not sure what would happen, if only, right? This is the thing about fear. We have to walk through it. We can't see the destination sometimes, but you have to know it's okay. I've lost my track here by going back into that story about sitting at that restaurant. But here's the thing. I don't ever think, oh, Yvonne, don't get hard on myself. I think to myself, I'm out, right? I had to learn something else in there. Everything is about stories. Everything is about what did we learn when we take our life off course. It wasn't meant for me to be married. The signs were there. They were being smashed in front of my face, and I chose not to see them. And you are doing the same. If you're in a marriage, if you're in a relationship that's not working out because of maybe what he's doing, or you're not happy, you are choosing to stay. If you are in a job that you're not happy with and you're trying to stay because you get 25 years and you're going to get something out of it, you are choosing to stay. If you want to start that business and you keep thinking, I don't know if I can do it, you are choosing to stay. If you want to go traveling, but you're worried about money, you are choosing not to expand. Every time I travel, it's like I just go up another level. I hadn't even got to the mastermind and I already changed my identity. I already had shifted into another level of consciousness and wealth consciousness by traveling. This is what we're meant to do. It's there for all of us to expand. It's a choice to choose it. So what are you choosing? So bold moves comes from going through the fear. It comes from saying, yes, I desire this. When I invested in my mentor, I knew I was in another program with her 2 years prior, and then I had a year doing my own thing. And my vibration went down. My business went down. There was all these things happening in that in between for me that were meant for me. This is the thing. But I knew the plan was to join her mastermind, right? And what happened was the universe and God were making shifts for me to be able to do that, to be able to jump out of the business that I was in, to be able to have the funds, the investment to make that $100,000 investment with her, to be in a mastermind of multimillionaires, to grow myself, to help other women change their lives. I made that decision. Was it scary? Yes. The deposit was $35,000, right? I was like, yeah, but I knew I was in. It didn't even feel scary anymore because I had already had the thought. I heard the fear. I still heard that fear. I heard that self-doubt, that old self of mine saying, oh, Yvonne, la, 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 la. And I chose to say no. It is only holding you back. And when you step in and you allow yourself to just keep going, you have to trust with 100% faith that you know everything is working out for you. And I'm here to tell you, everything is going to work out for you if you take that choice, that leap of faith into the next, whatever you want to do. And there's a lot of people talking about manifestation. There's a lot of people talking about the law of attraction, and it all comes into play. But here's the thing that they might not talk about. It's all within you. It's your choices to make those decisions. This is a quantum year, right? Which means the universe and God and source are here to help you make those bold moves. If you don't make them, you're not going to quantum jump. My word for the year, I actually had two. Leap and wealth. I knew I was jumping. I jumped in before the year started. But because it was a quantum year, I chose to leap. My decisions are about leaping. My mindset is about the wealth consciousness. When we build a wealth consciousness, it is limitless. So you can have the money you want. You can have the business that doesn't take a year to become a millionaire, or six-figure business or seven-figure business. It is just a choice. It is about taking those bold moves. It's about listening to those intuition and knowing and opportunities that when you come and you tune into yourself, they are going to show up for you. You can't do it rushing around. You won't hear them. Can't do it in fight and flight. Can't do it in stress. Can't do it in overwhelm. You can't do it in fear. It's the other side of you. It's the feminine energy. The feminine energy is the groundedness. It's the meditation. It's feeling within yourself. And yes, it sounds so easy. And you know what? It is, if you choose it to be. So making bold moves, it's really those. And you know, like I said, I guess I'm getting a little bit off topic with what I want to talk about, but I just want you to know the reason I'm sharing this is because my life was easy at one stage of my life, but my life, I hit rock bottom. When you hit rock bottom and you have no idea how you're coming out the other end, at the moment, I can't even remember what that felt like, but I know it was awful because I chose to move up. I chose to, no way, this is not going to define me. I chose to keep moving even through the fear. Even though I was being pushed, like everything I was doing, it was just being done for me. It was like, oh, come on, move, move. It was like it was calling me back from my core gut. I had a rope that was tugging at me to keep moving. But I was doing the work. I was doing the groundedness. I was meditating. I was in tuned, even though I was in the fight and flight, but I was doing the work along it. So I want you to know that it is all there waiting for you too. You just have to make the move. You just have to listen to what you absolutely would love to do and not have excuses. When you come into a place that you are absolutely know you are meant for more, know that you want to start that business, know that you want to get out of that job, know that you want to get out of that marriage, whatever it is, then I want you to go within yourself and be quiet and to listen and hear and ask for opportunities because you are ready for the next step. We don't pray for help. It's not how it works. Okay? We are always so grateful for everything, all the blessings we already have. And all you want to know is that you are open. God, I am here. I am ready for my next level. Show me my next step. I am open to receiving those opportunities to take me to the next step. When we start to actually channel and get into the vibration of what you want to call in, it's going to show up. It's going to show up really fast. And then it's you to decide yes to that opportunity and not take fear. Because normally it's not an easy yes. It's going to ask you to make a bold move. It's going to ask you to do something that you are in fear of. And you get to choose that decision. You get to decide and choose. So if this is helping you remind yourself of who you are, I am so grateful. I didn't have anyone helping me to find myself. I did it alone, all on my own, one day at a time, getting myself up, getting out there, keep moving. Wasn't easy on my own. So if this is calling you to want more from life and you want to partner up with someone, that is what I help you with, right? I help you rewrite that story. And when I share this story, I want you to know as a mentor coach, I have been through it. I have personal experience being through multiple things in my life. That's why I'm so good at this. That's why I had to go through what I went through. There was a calling for me to do this work, to be right here, right now, doing this work. And I am so passionate about what I do. I want you to feel the love and the life and have the life that you absolutely desire with ease and flow. Maybe it's not even big, bold moves that you need. Maybe it's just this one leap to change your life. I'd love to help you, but you have to make the move. Everything has a plan. Everything is always getting in line for what you desire. But here's the thing. You might be calling in the wrong thing. That's the tricky stuff. Those are the lessons. You might be asking for the great man, but the wrong one keeps showing up. That's on you. It's not that it's not coming. You're in the wrong vibration. You haven't done the inner work. When you get into the right vibration and you know how life is playing out for you and you understand this vibration and you understand that your life is being created either with you or without you, you won't ever do it again in the wrong choice. So choose wisely. So what is bold moves? Right? What is it? Like, what would you recommend? What would you say bold moves, right? Because there is a deep knowing that you are meant for more. Do you feel that urge? And what it means is like, you don't want to settle anymore, right? It's okay to feel comfortable where you are, but we also want to trust the pull towards something bigger and better, even when the path isn't clear. My path is not clear. I don't know how it's exactly going to unplan or unfold. I know it's coming. I know without a shadow of a doubt that this month is going to be the best month ever. I know where everything is unfolding from what I desire, but it comes out a different way, right? That's where we have to let go and surrender. Your desire for expansion and growth is not staying stagnant, is never an option. right? That was never an option. I choose not to ever have that option. Don't you want to crave this elevation, transformation, stepping into a new level of abundance, wealth, and confidence? Have a willingness, right? A burning desire to create the new. Because remember, I've had, so in 2024 is when my life crumbled, totally crumbled, because I was calling in something in my life. I didn't know what it was going to look like. I just kept moving forward and it fell apart. It has to fall apart to come back together. That's how it happens. I wasn't afraid to let go of my marriage, the home, the business last year, an identity that was no longer serving me, right? All my furniture, I got rid of everything to have more, to be better, to be more. That is an unshakable self-trust and an embodiment of that work, an embodiment of who I am. Multi-million dollars, Yvonne. So does that make sense? Do you understand now why we need to really understand that the choices we are making today, that you want to make sure they're making you for your higher self? That you're not just sitting back and letting life, right? And going to work and trying to be good, or, this word trying. It's just like, you either are doing it or you're not doing it. Trying is basically not happening. Trying means nothing, in my opinion. We can't try to be better. You need to be better. You want to be better. You choose to go to work. How exciting that you get to go to work. How exciting that you get to have food. How exciting that you get to make dinner. How exciting that you get to drive to your job. See how that feels so good? Like, I remember just feeling so much control, like I talked about. Like, controlling my life was so hard and challenging. The grip was so tight. Even 2 years ago when I was in my business, things I knew I was out of alignment. Everything was challenging. I had gripped onto life like I was hanging off I had 1 foot off the cliff. It was hard. It was challenging. It was exhausting on my body. I was gripping on. Life is supposed to be fun and easy, right, guys? Ladies, you want to have a loose grip. You want to have fun. You want to be able to just go with the flow. It's like water coming down a river, and it hits a log, and it can't go through the log. It makes its way around the sides. And this is how life unfolds for us. It's about this, we want to go down this path, and you see this path and you're like, yeah, that's the path I want. But you try to hang on and you're trying to control it and you're trying to go down that path. It's not going to be fun. It's not going to come the way you want it, because you're not allowing to see the other things that are going to come in around you. So we need to have that flow. We need to have a knowing that it's all working out for the greater good. And when you come into that feeling of it's done and it's blissful and oh my gosh, yeah, I'm so excited, and you know how amazing your life is going to be, then you are on that track. That is what I help you do. That is how I live my life. No stress, no worry. I let go. I do the work. I share what I need to do. And I love doing what I do. And I know I haven't been on here for like 2 weeks because I just couldn't get on. I went to London with a clear conscience of only going there to do what I needed to do. And I needed a break. That was allowing me to have time off, time to come back to self and to recalibrate, right? Because when we are shifting, we are recalibrating. Everything is like recalibrating. And even with this moon coming up on the 13th, it's really shaking certain signs. And the energy of this month is about slowing down, we slow down for the speed. And this month, this moon, I can't remember where it's in, but let me tell you, it's going to be really rocky for a lot of us. It's the earth signs, okay? And it said so much to be really mindful of your communication, the things you're saying to yourself, and to slow down. So if you're another fellow Virgo or an earth sign, which I think is Taurus in there, and Sagittarius, and there was another sign, whew, okay, really, really pay attention to how you are being, your communication, what you say to yourself, how you talk to others. Don't react. Stay calm so that you allow everything to be the best. Like next 6 months is going to be amazing, okay? And this is where we got to trust and have fun. So, I don't know. I know I've lost track today, but I couldn't wait to get on here today and to say hello and I'm back, and I'll be here every day with you. And today was very spontaneous, but you don't have to control your life. You want to have, like, I want you to think about what would you love, what would you desire, and make those choices towards those goals. I hope this made sense to you today. I'm just so excited to be back here and back home. And here's another thing, you know, when you travel, the best thing about it is that it brings back for me so much more gratitude in my own life for where I live, my home, my friends, my baby girl, Sasha, my dog. She wasn't sure what was happening because I don't know. I didn't even tell you this. We had a cyclone on the coast for the last 2 weeks. It started up north. And literally, it was along our main city here in Queensland, in Brisbane. The whole Sunshine Coast was shut down for this cyclone. I had to get not stuck, from my plane coming home, went from London to Perth. I had my flights were all canceled. So I stayed in Perth for 3 days. And, you know, when your life is seeing this stuff happening, and you know, people were looking after my neighbors, looking after my dog, my girlfriend got all my furniture in the house, she had to go off, like, you're just like, wow, life is in the world. And it surpassed. I was manifesting, just it surpasses me, I'm safe, and we are okay. And I believe that was a collective energy because it fell away to just a storm. I flew back sitting beside a pilot. I said, have you ever seen a cyclone? And he's been a pilot for 25 years. I said, have you ever seen a cyclone not hit ground, like touch onto land and continue? And the way that it went to a storm, he said, I've never seen it in my life. If that isn't a sign that collectively we were all wishing and energetically it's going to work out. We're going to be safe. It's going to pass us. I mean, it was just remarkable. Sending much love to all of you. I'm so excited to be back here. And let me know where you're coming in from. Hit the subscribe button, please. Let me tell you, we're going to have some really good stuff coming up. I'm going to put together a really good plan of the next 30 days of content for you, and it's going to be so fun. Okay, so let's make some big changes in life. Yeah, let's have this really great relationship with money, a wealth consciousness, be more grateful for what we have, love yourself more today than you've ever loved yourself in the past, because loving yourself and gratitude is where the wealth is. Sending much love. Have a beautiful day.